Welcome to practice. We're going to begin laying down and have your long, narrow blanket to put under your shoulder blade. It's a bit of a theme here. I love this gentle way of starting a practice and tuning in to how the shape of your spine is. So sometimes lying down over that blanket can feel so otherworldly, and helps us to be present to the posture of our spine, and particularly that part of the spine that's so used to doing things with our arms. So letting yourself take this shape and finding your breath. Feeling the expansion of the breath. Even exaggerating the movement of your ribs with the breath. So really allowing them to expand freely, contract thoroughly. And we're going to add some arm movement in. So bring your arms by your side. And as you inhale, arms overhead, expanding the lung, the rib. And as you exhale, contract the rib, arms back by you. Let your movement follow the rhythm of your breath. Notice if there's any feeling of catching or almost a stuttering in the breath or the movement. Letting the flow begin to happen. Body becomes more at ease with the breath. You're going to finish off holding your arms overhead. If they don't reach the floor, you can put them on a blanket. It's really nice to just let them relax, either onto the floor or onto a blanket, leaving your arms overhead, but still feeling the expanse or expansion of the rib, the contraction of the rib. Nice work. Roll gently to your right side and just come up to sitting. Bring the feeling of that blanket support behind your upper back with you. And we're going to sit onto the blanket. So feeling the lift of your spine now. And a big circle now. We don't change the association between the neck and the spine. So drawing a big circle with the top of your head in the air above. So where we're moving is through the joint. But what you might notice is that the core of the body starts to respond, to stabilize. Other direction. Neck nice and relaxed. We're looking for that easeful feeling, that relationship between the spine and the neck. Great. And then feet out in front, soles of the feet on the floor. We're going to lean back a little and feet off the floor. Ooh. Now, we're going to do the same thing. Whole spine is staying nice and long, nice and easy in your neck, but just drawing a little circle with the top of your head in the air above your head. The whole body responding to holding your balance. Now, you could do this with your feet staying on the floor. It adds a little layer of difficulty. Other direction. Nice work. And then sitting in a relaxed way for your leg. If crossing your legs doesn't feel comfortable for your knees, just put your legs out semi-wide. And this time, spinal wave movement. And we're going to lead with the chin and the occiput. So when you wave forward, put your chin forward. And when you wave back, the occiput back. So the whole spine follows. I'm going to look for supple movement. So the movement can feel big or it can feel small and subtle. But we're trying to tune in to the subtle movement, supple movement. Easy to mix up those words of the spine. However big or small. Supple movement. And as we become familiar with that movement, feeling the expansion of lungs, the rib, contraction. Good. There's another direction to this. So swapping direction. I think it's one of the most important movements to be able to tune into for the spine, these spinal waves. And pick a different part of the spine. We're doing the chin and the occiput, and you'll get a different effect. Beautiful. And then we'll come into forward virasana. So kneeling towards the back of the mat. Big toes touching. Your knees a little bit wider than you normally would go for. And arms stretching out. So we have considered in the practice so far that feeling of the middle back, the bones there pressing forward, the space that makes for the ribs to expand and to contract. We've considered the suppleness of the spine, each joint free to move with the breath. Explore this now with each breath. Good. And then looking forward at your hand, we're going to bring the chest forward so you're laying down onto the floor. Bring your legs so they're parallel and feel active in your legs. So press the tops of the feet down, gather the gluteus muscles towards center, elbows in, elbows back, and lifting the breastbone. And we're going to lift the front of the torso as you breathe in. And as you exhale, lowering down. Breathing in, lifting. And as you exhale, lowering down. Good. And you're going to keep going. I'm just going to ask John the question, is everything okay with the shot? Because for some reason it's small in my phone. Good. So lifting and lowering down. Lifting and lowering down. Now, as you lift now, see if you can take your hands off the floor as well. Ooh, you might not lift as high. And lowering down. So lifting and see if you can take your hands off the floor and lowering down. So we're really activating the back of the core. Beautiful. And then we're going to press back into that wide kneed forward virasana. A little bit of extra stretch for the hip joints. Letting the back really fill with the breath. Mm. Mm. Beautiful. Lifting up now, bring the knees back so they're hip width. And we're going to lower the elbows to the floor. Stretch the fingers out wide. Tuck the toes under. Lift the knees from the floor and looking forward. Lifting the sit bone. And then releasing. Take your wide knee forward virasana again. Arms reaching forward. Feel the expanse of the breath. The inhalation and the exhalation. And the body becoming more supple around that breath. Good. And then knees back into hip width. This time we're going to keep the hips over the heels. Walk your hands further forward and bring the chest towards the floor. So take that gently for your shoulders, just checking in they're comfortable with that kind of movement. It's a big stretch for the shoulder joints. Feeling the bones of the spine pressing forward. More space between the shoulder blades. At the base of the neck, keep lengthening the neck. Nice work. And then walking your hands back. Now we're going to put the hands on the floor just in front of the knees, tuck the toes under, and practice your lifting the knees just off and back onto the floor. Now, if you can lift your knees comfortably and roll back onto your heels into a squat position, then do that part of the movement as well. Otherwise, we're just lifting the knees and lowering down, lifting and lowering, or rolling back onto the heels. See if you can really get your feet moving. Good. And then we're going to stand up from there. So you might be able to stand up with that or using your hand. Or maybe you need your hands for wisdom. Now we're going to do a little bit of balance. So some people like to have a chair handy. Do that if you think that might be you. And we're going to face the long edge of the mat, feet under the hips. Tadasana. Bring the weight into the right leg and just lift your left leg up. And we're going to reach it out to the left side. So this is where if you're really wobbly, you could just have the back of a chair for a little assistance. I'm just going to reach that leg out as though you were trying to reach for something that's in the distance to the left. So reaching out. Good. And then we'll come back to feet under the hips. Try when you're bringing your feet back that you don't just fall back into position. Try to maintain the integrity of balance all the way. Good. So we're on the left foot now and reaching out with the right foot. And really stretch that right foot out. You can even wriggle it around, trying to reach for something beyond the foot. Good. And then we're going to, with integrity, bring that foot back down. So find the floor lightly with the ball of the foot before you place the whole foot down. Good. Let's go side to side again. So we're leaning on the right foot. To really find your balance, there's a gathering that happens. So buttock muscle gathering, pelvic floor, legs. Good. So you feel the core of the body gathered. Good. And then before you place the foot back down, try to find the floor lightly with the ball of the foot. And then you can place your feet without looking, hip width and parallel. Good. And then on your left leg and reaching out with your right foot. Ooh. Good. Feel that gathering towards center, towards the core of the body. Force down through the left leg. Beautiful. And so placing the right foot back down, feet hip width parallel. Nice work. Bring the arms up by the ears, Urdhva Hastasana, looking up. And then forward bend, Uttanasana. Not so much that the bones of the spine press up to the ceiling, but get them to press forward, even look forward. Feel the spine embedding forward. Good. Now, we're going to sway the torso from side to side. Now, as you do that, you'll see one leg stretches. If I sway left, the left leg stretches. I sway right. Right leg stretches. Now, if you're still looking forward, just check into the back of the neck. We want to avoid that squashing feeling in the back of the neck. Bones of the spine press forward, particularly in your middle back, between your shoulder blades, so you can lengthen your neck. Good. So swaying from side to side, you might find you're getting a little bit closer to the floor or reaching the top of your head a little further out. And come to center and then just keep the legs going. So bending one, straightening the other. Feeling that nice warm spring. Good. And when you're centered now, start to straighten both legs without pressing the bones of the spine up to the ceiling. So keep pressing them forward. Beautiful. And then we'll bend the knee and inhale and coming up. Nice work. All right. This time we're going to turn the right foot to the right so that it's parallel to the edges of the mat and have the hands at the hips. And we're going to balance on the right foot and lift the left leg out behind again, like you would for half moon pose. We're going to try and lift the left hip. Good. And really stretch out through that leg, but feel that sense of gathering, the strength of the body towards the center. So internal muscular support. Nice work. All right, to put that foot back down, we want to keep our balance in the right foot until you find the floor lightly with the toes, ball of your foot, and then come back to standing with the feet hip width and parallel. Nice. Left leg turned out, parallel to the edges of the mat. We're going to take the weight into the left foot, and then we're going to lift the right leg behind. Now we're trying to roll the right hip back. Good. And we're trying to get that sense of balancing by really gathering the strength of the body to center. Even though center's in a bit of a twisted position here. The gathering. Nice work. Now, don't just fall back down. Try to bend your left leg a little bit more. Find the floor with your toes, your foot. Yes. And feet underneath the hip. Tadasana. Right. Now, we're going to step or jump. Jumping's good for reminding your bones to stay strong. So little stamps, stamping jumps. Feet out a little bit wider than your leg is long. And we're going to make a forward bend, but make a back bend first and feel that lovely pressing of the bones of the spine towards the front of the torso, looking up. And as you exhale, folding forward at the hip crease. And we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders. Good. So have straight arms, looking forward. And then turn your right foot out so it's parallel to the sides of the mat again and bend that leg. You can walk your hands and keep them under your shoulders. And just let your body move to the right as far as it will. So the left leg is as straight as you can. Nice. Come back to center, turn the right foot forward, so both feet are forward, and then we turn the left foot out. So keep a big distance between your feet, about your own leg length distance. So left leg parallel to the edges of the mat. Walk your hands with you as the torso moves left, so they stay under your shoulders. Good, and we start to sink the hips and expressing that movement in your body. So right leg as straight as you can, press the outside edge of the right foot. Good, and then back to the center, both feet face forward. All right, now this time we're going to step the right foot out, turn it out to be parallel to the edges of the mat. We're going to bend the right knee. Bring your right elbow onto your right knee and lift up, left hand on the left hip. And express that movement of the hips reaching down towards the floor. But at the same time, feel that gathering of strength through the legs, the core of the body, the spine, left hip rolling back, spine is lengthening, and you're looking up at the ceiling and breathing deeply. If it feels good for your body, take the left arm by the left ear and let's really stretch the left side. Finding that replenishing breath. Nice work. We're going to lean the hands down onto the floor to change sides. So you walk the hands with the torso, turn the right foot forward, even toes in a little bit, and the left foot out, parallel to the edges of the mat. Bend the left knee. So we've got the heel lining up with the center of the right foot inner arch. Good. Left elbow onto the left knee. Lift the torso, lift the hand. Right hand on the hip to start with. And let the knee bend. Let the hips start to reach towards the floor. But feel that sense of gathering strength to the center of the body. Lifting the pelvic floor, the lower front abdomen, rolling the right hip back, rolling the right ribs back, looking up at the ceiling. Right arm by the right ear. Beautiful. Bring the hands back down to the floor and back to center. We're going to face the feet forward, turn the toes in. Walk the hands as far forward as you can, stretching the back of the legs. Bringing the armpits towards the floor. Feeling that expansive breath. Nice work. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, and you can jump or hop or stamp your feet into a squat and sitting down. So sitting doesn't necessarily work in the same way for you that it does for me. Sitting using your wisdom and your self-kindness. Okay, sitting up onto a blanket again. Kneeling. Kneeling is so difficult for so many people. So if kneeling is out of the question here, for the next posture, you're going to give yourself a massage. So you can support your knee in the way your knee needs to be supported, and you curl your toes. It's really important to get that movement, curling the toes towards the heel, stretching the ankle and the top of the foot. So you're going to give yourself a self-massage, or sit with your left foot in kneeling and your right foot out to straight. I've shifted the blanket so that it's under the right sit bone so that I can sit fairly evenly in the lower back or the sides of the waist. You can make your blanket higher. Good, and if this puts too much pressure on your knee, do the self-massage instead on your left foot. Good. We're going to bend the right leg in here. And you're going to try and lift that foot off the floor so you can hold the front of the knee to do that. And then we're going to try and straighten the leg. So I'm holding the back of the thigh. I could hold my foot, but not everyone can reach there. But we're going to try and straighten the leg. Notice, as soon as you start trying to straighten, the bones of the spine pop out behind. So we want to really press them forward. But even though you're doing something that might feel really awkward, finding that sense of ease in your spine. Good, and finding your breath. Nice work. And release that side. Good. And then we're going to release the left leg, and we're going to fold in the right leg. So if you're not kneeling, that just would not be good for your knee at this moment, then work on giving yourself that massage where you curl the toes back towards the heel. And give the front of your foot, your ankle, that nice stretch. So important for mobility and balance. Otherwise, we've tucked the right leg in. Good. And you're going to bend your left leg and just balance things. So lifting the heel up off the floor. Finding your good balance, the length of your spine, and that lovely feeling of tuning into the expansive breath, replenishing breath. Beautiful. Now we're going to try and straighten that leg. So one part of this is keeping the thigh as close to the front of your ribs as your body allows. And then straightening is difficult, but you'll access your stretch pretty easily. It will become evident. All right, so just be aware when you start lifting your leg, you want to make a stegosaurus back. So don't do that. Bring the bones of the spine forward. Feel them pressing forward. Finding that deep and satisfying breath. Nice work. And releasing that side. All right. So I hope foot massage people have had a nice time. We're going to sit on the blanket again, symmetrically. And soles of the feet together. We're going to take the right leg out straight in front for Janushisasana. Okay. And we're going to put the right hand behind the right hip. It's a very useful position because the arm is straight, but it helps to lengthen the torso forward. And what we're going to do with the left arm is swim it like freestyle towards the outside of the right foot, so the little toe side of the right foot. So we're going to swim that arm and really give yourself all of the associated movements of the ribs, the lungs, the shoulder here. So each time you swim, try to reach the arm a little further forward towards the little toe or beyond. Okay, next one, we're going to hold wherever it is that you reach to. So you might notice we've set up a stretch in the left lower back, trying to press the bones of the spine forward. Now you can keep your right hand there or somewhere else that feels better for keeping you balanced. Again, we want to have that sense of gathering to the center of the body to keep us nice and stable. Now you can swim your right hand forward also if you like the idea of stretching both arms forward. But we want to keep the bones of the spine pressing forward, the shoulder blades reaching back. Janushisasana. Exciting. Good, and then releasing that side. Soles of the feet together and left leg out straight in front. We'll keep the left hand behind the hip, reminding us to stay long in the spine. Good, and then we're going to swim the right arm. So give yourself all of the associated movements. Just take what feels really nourishing to open up the rib, the right way, the shoulder blade, shoulder. Enjoying each breath. So we're swimming the hand in the direction of the little toe of the left foot. In case you were lost then. Next one, take a rest for your hand wherever it reaches. With your other hand, find your lengthening of both sides of the spine. The further you reach that right hand, the more you'll feel the stretch in the right lower back around the kidneys. Press the bones of the spine forward. Finding your breath expanding and contracting. When the ribs contract, there's a little more room to lengthen the belly, to reach further forward. You can swim your other hand forward if that feels like a good movement in your shoulders, but keep the shoulder blades back. Bones of the spine pressing forward. Delicious. And then coming back. Soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. We're going to try and wave a little bit forward and back in this Baddha Konasana position. It might be easier and give you more movement to have your feet further forward. So check it out. But just try to find those subtle and supple movements of the spine, however small, in a wave-like movement forward and back. Good. There's a backward direction. We're taking that. Nice work. Simple cross-leg position. We're going to reach over to the right side, and maybe your elbow reaches comfortably to the floor, or just reach your straight arm further out so that you're really starting to lengthen the left rib. And we'll take the left arm by the left ear. Good. And we're going to lift the heart towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Lift up from there. And we're going to take both arms straight up by the ears and reach back in that direction, but really feel that gathering of the strength of the body to center. So we want to keep stable and not fall over. Oh, but holding that strong core of the body. Ooh. Nice work. Back to center. We're going to swap the cross of the legs and reaching over to the left side now. So you might just be sliding out a straight arm. Maybe you're on your elbow, giving yourself a nice big stretch on the right side. Good. And we'll take the right arm by the right ear. So we want the heart to look up, expanding towards the sky. Reaching. Beautiful. And then coming up, we'll bring both arms up by the ears. And then we're going to lean the torso to the left side. Feel that gathering of strength into the core of the body. Ooh. Reach as far as you can. Without compromising the stability of your back. Nice work. And coming up to center. Beautiful. Let's lay down now. And just time for a little twist to the side. Let's lie down. Find an easy spine. Arms out from the shoulders. Neck relaxed. And even just rock your head gently from side to side. Letting go of any residual tension. Good. Inside edges of the feet together, knees together. And we're going to let the knees go from side. As the knees move from side to side, we find the core of the body stabilizing, gathering strength. Okay, when you take your knees down next, just let them lay down onto the floor or towards the floor. Take a couple of breaths and just relax there. Gathering strength to center to lift the legs. Take them to the opposite side, just let them lay. Gathering strength as you bring your legs back to the center. Nice work. Hug your knees into your chest, rocking a little bit from side to side. If you had time for your own cavanough here, would be nice. If, like me, you need to finish your practice, we're going to roll over the right side and come up to sitting. Bringing your hands in front of your heart. Namaste.